Hi ELF volunteers, this session is Snow, Tracks, and Traces, and this video is on Center 2, which is hands-on tracks and traces observation. So we want to talk about what we can learn from animal tracks and the traces that they leave behind. This is the only center that really talks about animal traces, so we can talk about start off by saying what else do animals leave behind besides just footprints, and we can talk about if they shed skin and animal droppings, etc. And then what we can learn about animals based off of the tracks that they leave, like their weight, where they live, etc. And then the traces that they leave as well. There is a handout to talk about how students and people in general also leave tracks and traces throughout the day. So there's just some fun questions about what they do with things to help, kind of remind them that people leave tracks and traces as well. And then the Colorado Department of Wildlife very kindly lent us some rubber casts of tracks and some footprints. And so we want to just remember that they are on loan, they are expensive and fragile. So we want to be gentle and kind while we're handling the casts. But most of the tracks have feet that match up with them. So you can have the students try to guess which goes with which, guess which animals left the tracks, however you want to play it. They all should be labeled on the back, what is what. So there's lots of ways you can interact with the casts. And then there is also the activity for this center is animal track rubbing plates. So there are 16 different types of animal track plates, and each plate has a picture of the animal, pretty large footprint of that animal, and then the pattern that their movement leaves behind. And so I would recommend taping whichever plates you decide to use, tape them to the desk. If they move around a lot while you're trying to create the rubbing, it just doesn't look as nice. So go ahead and tape the ones that you want down. You do want the pushed outside to be up so that when you put the paper on top of it and then rub your crayon across, it leaves a rubbing of that animal's, again, the animal, the track, and then the pattern that it leaves. And there are 16 different ones. The envelope does have some good information about each of the animals in here. So, you guys can talk about that. The kids can guess which plate is which animal. And then obviously there's probably room on the paper for them to do a couple of rubbings a piece.